Hello for the 14th week in Ordinary Time. I don't have a Mass in any of the parishes this weekend, but I have read the readings, all three of them. And I read also an article from a scripture scholar from Boston College, and I think it has something to do with all those readings. And the title of this article in America Magazine was Subversive Whispers. Subversive Whispers. And it has to do with knowing God, knowing Jesus Christ. And then creeps in very often subversive whispers. Well, if I ask you, do you really believe in God? Yes or no? I would say yes. Do you really believe in Jesus Christ, the Son of God? Yes. But on the other hand, very often enters into our thinkings and feelings subversive whispering. And so I ask you, do you really know God or Jesus? Or do you really know a lot about God and know a lot about Jesus? I think we all have to sort of work through that. Well, for example, I really know God or I really know Jesus Christ. Subversive whispers. Well, how could God let those 12 young boys and their coach die in the cave in Thailand? Would God really let that happen? He's all powerful. He can help. He can save. And if Jesus could walk on the Sea of Galilee, walk on water, and he had some empathy or was interested in those 13, he certainly could drain those caves in an instant. Why does Jesus let things like that happen? Well, all kinds of little whispers. Not every day, but most days I go down the Y, work on the treadmill in the afternoon. And I watch the news, and invariably at the time that I walk on the treadmill, there's two advertisements, one from the Shriners Hospital and another is St. Jude's Hospital. I don't know if you've seen them, but they have these cutest kids smiling. Some of them don't have arms. Some of them have big patches on their head because of a brain tumor. One that just threw me off the treadmill was this little kid smiling, writing his name, sitting down, and the pen or the pencil was between his toes. And he says, I can write my name. And they give hope and they give insight. And of course, they're asking for money for these two hospitals. Great hospitals, worthy causes. But how could God let all this happen to so many people, even children or teenagers in a cave? Well, then I guess the clincher comes when something like that happens to me or to you. I don't deserve this. Why do I have this? And, well, it helps if you really know God or really know Jesus and not just about Jesus or about God. In the readings, in the gospel reading, they're there with Jesus Christ and they say, where did he get all this wisdom? I mean, I hear a lot about him. He's doing miracles. Where does he get all this stuff? And then the whispers come in and I don't know about this guy. We know who your father is, the carpenter Joseph. We know who your mother is, Mary. And you're just from a little village in Nazareth. We know. and they don't believe really in Jesus, but they know a lot about Jesus. In the first reading, Ezekiel, God calls Ezekiel, and Ezekiel gets to know God, Yahweh, and he's on a mission. He really knew God, not just a lot about God. And then in the second reading, St. Paul, that old Saul who would lock up the Christians and had an intimate personal relationship of Jesus Christ on the road to Damascus and really got to know Jesus Christ. It's apparent, just read his letters. But even Paul, knowing Jesus Christ, gets some of those subversive whispers. Like in his prayer life in that reading today, he's concerned about himself and he's concerned about the thorn in his flesh, whatever that was. He didn't like it. And he goes and he prays and he sort of tells God that he needs to get this taken out or taken away or answer my prayer. And this Jesus Christ invites him, I guess, to a deeper faith and says, don't worry about that, Paul. My grace is sufficient. Go and do what I've shown you is your task. Don't worry about that. Trust me. My grace is sufficient. And we know Paul does. And he does the task. And in due time, he's bragging about his weakness. And he realizes that Jesus Christ loves him even more because of his weakness or in spite of his weakness. There are so many subversive things in my religion or my belief and my relationship with God. So it's important, just ask yourself, do I really know God? Or do I really know a lot about God? Do I really know Jesus Christ, the Son of God? Or do I know a lot about Jesus Christ? Take one big step forward, all about the church. Do I even really know the real church? Or do I know a lot about the church? You know, those fish eaters, all those rules and regulations, all that fear, subversive whispers. Oh, just limit it to Jesus or whatever you think. Do you really know Jesus Christ? Or do you know much more about Jesus Christ? Have a good day.